1.5 million users without electricity.
Look at him.
In 11 of the regions across the country, people are having blackouts. In some areas, one of the towns that was hit today, Rivne, the hospital there is without electricity, so they have to bus the water into the hospital because otherwise they don't have running water there. It's also taken out the air defense system warning, so the police have to drive around with loudspeakers to let people know when there's an air raid on. Another power station taken out south of here feeds electricity to a coal mine. Well, they can't mine the coal. The coal was used to fire the power station. So that's another part of the power grid that's being taken down. What the engineers here believe, the engineers who run the power grid in Ukraine believe, is that the Russian military is working with Russian power grid engineers to target the weak spots in the system, like the big transformers and all those sort of big cable areas that you see on the edge of a power plant that feed off the electricity at a high voltage to substations further down the line. Why? Because they're outside and they're easy to target. So those are the sort of the bad stats, if you will. The good stats today were in Kyiv and Lviv, the main city in the west of the country here. The air defense systems took down every missile that was fired in. In Odessa, almost the same. The bad stat is that Russia's been looking for the weak points. So it hit the power facilities in the north, 5 cities in the east, and a number of cities in the center and to the south. And this is an accumulative effect. So to your point, what really is up and running? Well, the majority of the country is up and running. But imagine 2 weeks ago when this wasn't even on the horizon. Everything pretty much across the country was working just fine. Now cities across the country that are hundreds and hundreds of miles from the front lines, like Rivne, running out of water, are finding themselves as if they were at frontline cities having those conditions. So it really is beginning to bite and become an accumulative problem here, Sarah.
That's really disappointing. I know there is a counteroffensive that is happening where Ukrainians are fighting back in any way they can. But the temperature is about to drop. I know it's about 40 to 50 degrees at night there now, and winter is coming. And so these power grids are going to be, really, really, really important to try to get some of them, if possible, restored. Nick Robertson, it's always a pleasure to see you. Thank you so much. Ukrainian officials now accusing Russia of planting mines around a critical dam in the southern part of the country. The purpose? So Russian forces can stop Ukraine's counteroffensive by potentially flooding the area, which, by the way,